Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Sherry. So the topic of this video is suicide. If you are new to my channel, definitely look at the video I talked about losing my 18-year-old son, Michael, who passed away unexpectedly. So it was something that was not detected in him. We did not know he had a heart. Um, his left valve fluttered in his heart. So that caused him to pass away basically in front of my eyes. And I kind of go over that in detail as far as the day that it happened. Of course, that made me very suicidal. And I say, of course, because as a mom, I feel like most parents, especially, definitely want or believe and actually should, their children should outlive them. So you would definitely expect your children to bury you. You would expect your children to, outlive you. And because he didn't, I actually just felt like not only he deserved to be here, I didn't deserve to be here. Meaning, I definitely would have traded places with him if possible. However, I couldn't trade places with him. I definitely wanted to be with him. As a mom, I wanted to love on him wherever he's at, in heaven. So it's a lot to talk about when it comes to the suicide for me. Um, First, let me talk about what that meant to me. I just did not want to live, for sure. I did not want to be here. I hated everything about this place, this world. Um, every time I was grieving, nights was really hard, and every time I fell asleep, I was almost praying I didn't wake up. Like I prayed that God please take me in my sleep. Like I don't want to be here anymore. Um, there was times that I thought about taking pills, going to a hotel, the typical thing people do. Um, Go to a hotel, drink, take sleeping pills. I just thought of so many different ways or thoughts of committing suicide. Um, of course, I didn't go through it, and I'll talk about the reasons why with that. First of all, I do remember, I want to say Miss Chalet. She's a singer slash rapper. Um, I don't remember for sure if it's her, but I want to say it's her. So if I'm wrong, I apologize. But I do remember her saying something about she took some pills and she slept for 2 weeks. So she was trying to commit suicide, and instead she, woke up. I also thought about people who have went off a bridge or something and they just broke all their bones in their body and they didn't complete the mission. They actually, basically made things worse. So a part of me was like, I just want God to take me. Like, please just take me in my sleep. Um, but also I did things that I realized later that was suicidal. Um, I was watching Dr. Phil one time, and it was a lady, and she would jog in the middle of the night. That was me. I couldn't sleep, so I would wake up in the middle of the night, and I literally go walking in my neighborhood. It was summer nights. It felt so good, and I just couldn't sleep. And it was just, I mean, I automatically just get up and put clothes on and go out and walk in the middle of the night, 3 or 4 in the morning. So Dr. Phil said, you were suicidal at that point. And she says, why do you say that? He says, because nobody would purposely go jogging in the middle of the night unless they didn't care if they lived or not. So I knew that was me at the time. I was definitely suicidal. I would get up in the middle of the night. I didn't care, if somebody was out there to kill me or not kill me. I didn't care what happened. I couldn't sleep. I hated nights. Nights was the worst for me. And so, being single at the time, um, nobody to talk to, nobody to go through it with. I just get up in the middle of the night and go, walking. Um, Now I get up in the middle of the night and I go to the gym, which is a enclosed place. I usually put my um, pepper spray or whatever in my bag before I leave the building. I do look around. I have a flashlight because it's dark sometimes to get to my car. I'm more cautious, so I know then too the things that I've done was suicidal. Um, the hardest thing for me when it came to being here and not wanting to be here is that I was just so tired. I was tired of people. I was tired of my life. I was tired of hurting. I was tired of the pain. Tired of missing, my son. So it was just one of those dark, dark times, and it lasted over 2 years. 2 years of just, please take me, Lord, please take me. Now, I do remember going to a group called Compassionate Friends, and there I found out people who had lost their only child, and I had a daughter who's still around, so of course I had a reason to try to live, so a reason to live for. However, when I found out, your only child died, like, how are you still here? Because we feel like our children are the reason for us to be here if we're a parent. And I can say one of the people I talked to who had lost their only child, she said, I thought about killing myself all the time, but I also heard, you know, from someone, if you commit suicide, then you may not be able to see your loved one. So that's the only thing that stopped me. So that was another thing too, after talking to her, that stopped me. It's like, what if that's true? And I'm not saying if one of your loved ones committed suicide, you won't see them again. That is not what I'm saying. I hope and pray we all see our loved ones again. That was just something that stood in my head, that what if I kill myself and then I never get to see my son again? Um, I want to say I still have doubts, but it's not the same level. The first 2 years of my son passing, and it's been about 10 years now, it was major. Things that, I thought about doing or not doing, like, wanting to just turn the car around in the middle of the highway or something just crazy would just go to my mind. Like, I just don't want to be here. And just was just in my mind, just like, I just want to get out of here. Um, but even now, I won't necessarily say it's about to suicide. I'm one of those people that if God takes me now, I will be fine. I do know a lot of people who's like afraid of death. A lot of people who will say things like, I'm so glad to be alive. I'm so glad to be here. You won't ever catch me saying things like that. I never say I'm so glad to be alive. I'm so happy to be here. Because I'm not afraid of death. I definitely look forward. I look like I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it because I'm looking forward to seeing my son. And I don't think that's the same level of being suicidal as I was, meaning at the time that I was suicidal, it's like I was trying to get out of here. Now it's more or less I can wait, but I can't wait. Meaning it's going to be exciting for me to get out of here, to go where my son is. In my mind, that's where I'm going. I can say, for instance, like my mother-in-law, she passed away in our home, and when I was married. And I remember she was dying of cancer. And I remember toward the end, she was in so much pain. They had her on hospice, and they actually said, the only thing that they could do is just make her comfortable. So that means just give her as much medication, which basically ended up putting her in a coma at one point, and then, she died. But she was in so much pain that I just remember her saying, I just want to get out of here. I just want to get out of here. I just want to go home. And even her saying that, and she had died before my son died, I thought about that too. I was like, she's near death, and she's talking about going home and getting out of here. Like, she knows something. Like, it's a place outside of here. There's something going on outside of here. So in my mind, I'm still like that. meaning I don't mind going home. I don't mind getting out of here. But I'm not doing anything dangerous or thinking of things dangerously. Um, Thinking about taking overdosing or doing something to kill myself. I just know that it's going to be just so good to you know move on and in my head, get out of here, move on. So I want to say, if you're dealing with somebody and you don't know for sure if they're suicidal, you can watch them. I want to say very sluggish, moving slowly, very out of, I want to say, routine. Meaning, if there's something that they would normally do or want to do, it's like they don't have any energy for it. They don't want to do it. Um, it was a time where, you know, if I had to go somewhere and do something, I did it, but that was the bare minimum. And the thoughts in your head are the worst. I think for me was just like um, people, I can't take them. Uh, Routine, I can't take it. These days in and out, I can't take it. It was just overwhelming to deal with the day to day. So if you find that someone's having a hard time dealing with the day to day, that could definitely be, bouts of depression and or suicide, because I want to say it's almost like the peace before the storm. If that's, a way of saying it, it's like you have this full peace, and it's almost like you know a storm is coming or could come, but you just have this full peace. And in my case, I was like that. I mean, I could walk around like a zombie all day and work whatever I needed to do. At night, it was like nobody was around. Again, I lived alone, and I was just fighting myself as far as, like I said, get up in the middle of the night and want to go run or walk outside. But just trying to deal with the day to day was not easy. So it's a lot of things that I dealt with that during that dark time. Like I said, 2 years, 2.5 years maybe, of just being suicidal, that you couldn't tell from the outside looking in. Um, but I could say my energy level was low. My wanting to interact with other people was low. My um, even happiness, was low. So if I could explain it even more deeper, it's just a matter of giving up. Like, I surrender. I surrender. I give up. And hopefully you don't have anybody around you that feels that way. It's very hard to tell. Again, somebody is suicidal. Just looking at them and knowing, you may not know right away, but just watching them and seeing how they interact with you or other people is a big deal. And definitely try if you possibly can, because during the times when my son first died, I was still married, and so I was in a house full of people, and I would just go into a room by myself, and I would just try to sleep, and I couldn't sleep. I wanted to be alone as much as possible because I was trying to cope, and it was hard to cope. However, when I was alone, meaning I had separated from my husband, and it was just me in a place alone dealing with my grief, um, the more suicidal was just to just get out of here. Like, there's nothing here for me. I don't need to be here. Even though I had my daughter, it's almost like she'll be okay. She's got her dad. So, just making sure that you kind of be around that person a lot and give them a lot of attention. So those are the things that I would suggest. If you know someone who's maybe had a level 1 And if you look at my video about my son, like God showed me a level one was someone who you would prefer that you died instead of them. And usually that would be a child. A level two would be someone you would give a limb to, a lung, a kidney, whatever. Um, so that could be a spouse or something, or, depending on, your parenting, it could be a child. But I know I was at a level one, high trauma death, basically, God was showing me. And I just didn't want to be here. I just even felt like it was fair for me to be here. Um, it just was something that was not even interesting to me to be here anymore. So just keep an eye on them and keep them company. Definitely keep, motivational speaking, maybe some words or something. I used to listen to music to help me. Um, they have affirmations you can listen to on YouTube. Um, Different things to keep me going. But walks in the park in the daytime, out in the nature help. Um, Definitely maybe journaling, doing some recording as far as talking stuff out, like what are you feeling right now, what's going on. And then later on, I listen to those recordings and I'm like, oh God, I was going through it. You can kind of feel where you were at listening to different recordings of what you did a particular day. So there's different things you want to try to get to them. You definitely, again, want to try to get as much positive going around them and do as much positive as you can with them. All right. I'll get more into it when I can have some guests that maybe went through suicidal bouts or dealt with suicide. Like I said, I did for 2.5 years, and sometimes I don't say I feel suicidal, but I just feel like I don't care if I leave. I'll be happy to leave, but it's definitely not the same. Like I said, I don't do anything specifically to try to like I want to be out of here. I don't even say like I want to be out of here. It's almost like when it's my time to go, I'll be happy. So that's different than I want to be out of here. I can't wait to get out of here. All right, and I hope you subscribe to this video and look for more videos.